Dr. Karnik with New Age Science Academy, and today we are going to be solving a question on thermochemistry. When it comes to thermochemistry, some of the commonly asked questions are about heat energy transfer. So let's look into how to solve these questions. So when it comes to thermochemistry, the questions are mainly about heat energy transfers. And these heat energy transfers are the heat transfers between a system and a surrounding. So basically, they're talking about the amount of heat given out by a system or taken in by a system, and what is its relationship with the amount of heat either given out by the surrounding or taken in by the surrounding. So we know that the amount of heat given out by a system is equal to the amount of heat taken in by the surrounding. With that in mind, we know that Q of the system is equal to negative Q of the surrounding. You're going to see questions where your system might be a copper coin, it could be an iron rod, or it could be any different metal. Most of the times you will see that this particular metal is put in a surrounding, and the surrounding could be a container containing water or any other surface which is going to absorb the heat. You're going to see that the temperature of the system is going to change, and so is the temperature of the surrounding because of the heat exchange. We know that the formula that connects the amount of heat with temperature is Q is equal to mass times specific heat capacity times delta T, where delta T is equal to final temperature minus initial temperature. And this formula is true for both the system and the surroundings. So whenever you have questions on heat energy transfers, you're always going to be using this formula, and this formula. Let's solve a question which utilizes these concepts to look into the thermal energy transfer. So here you see a 32.5 gram iron rod initially at 22.7 degrees Celsius is submerged into an unknown mass of water at 63.2 degrees Celsius in an insulated container. The final temperature of water upon reaching thermal equilibrium is 59.5 degrees Celsius. What is the mass of water? The specific heat capacity of iron is 0.449 joules per gram degree Celsius, and the specific heat capacity of water is 4.18 joules per gram degree Celsius. Whenever you are answering questions like this, it is very important for you to identify first, what is a system, what is a surrounding, what is the information given for the system, and what is the information given for the surrounding. So let's look at this. We are looking into this question, and I can clearly see that the system here is the iron rod. So I'm going to write system, iron rod. And let's look into what data is given about the iron rod. They are giving me the mass, which is 32.5 grams. I know the initial temperature here, which is 22.7 degrees Celsius. The final temperature at thermal equilibrium, and when you're saying thermal equilibrium, it means that this is the temperature of both the system and surrounding, hence it is at equilibrium, is 59.5 degrees Celsius. The specific heat capacity of iron is 0.449 joules per gram degree Celsius. Now let's look into what information is given about the surrounding. In this case, this iron rod is submerged in water, and therefore water is the surrounding. So I know that surrounding is water. The mass of water is not given. That's what we are going to find out. Let's see. It is submerged in mass of water at 63.2 degrees Celsius. So that is the initial temperature of water. So Ti of water is 63.2 degrees Celsius. And of course, the final temperature is 59.5 degrees Celsius. The specific heat capacity of water is given. It is 4.18 joules per gram degree Celsius. Okay, so now we have all the information that we need to find out the mass of water. So first we know that Q of the system, let's just calculate the Q of the system. So Q system is equal to mass times specific heat capacity times delta T. I'm going to plug in the values. This is 32.5 grams. Pay attention to the units. Times specific heat capacity is joules per gram degree Celsius. So I want to make sure that all the other units are also in grams and degree Celsius. So here it is 0.449. So grams here is correct. Multiplied by delta T. So delta T is 59.5 degrees Celsius minus 22.7 degrees Celsius. So 59.5 minus 22.7 degrees Celsius. When I do the calculation, my answer comes down to Q of the system is equal to 537.004 joules. And again, here, the units have gotten canceled. C with C. Now that I know the Q of the system, I also know that this is related to the amount of heat taken in by the surroundings. So Q of the system is equal to negative Q of the surrounding. So this is equal to negative Q of water. So using this equation, let's look into the negative Q of water. So here, I put negative 537.004 joules, which is the negative Q of water, is equal to mass of water, which I don't know, multiply it by the specific heat capacity of water, which is 4.18 joules per gram degree Celsius, multiplied by the difference in the temperature, final minus initial, which is 59.5 degrees Celsius minus 63.2 degrees Celsius. So this is equal to mass times mass of water. And when I do this calculation, my answer comes to negative 15.466 joules per grams. And this is negative 537.004 joules. Because I have negative signs on both, cancel it out. And I'm going to write down 537.004 joules is equal to mass times 15.466 joules per gram. And therefore, to calculate mass of water is equal to 537.004 joules divided by 15.466 joules per gram. And my answer comes to 34.72 grams. So I know that the mass of water in this case is 34.72 grams. This is how you would go about solving any kind of questions for heat transfer. Always start with what is the system, what is the surrounding, put down the data for the system, put down the data for the surrounding, and then Q of the system is equal to negative Q of the surrounding. Just plug in the values and you will be able to find the unknown.